Well, just a quickie update here. The color I picked, that's been approved. So I've been working on it a bit. What I've done is I've taken the belt loop, cut the holes in it, punched the stitch holes in it, beveled my edges, and a couple of things about this. The belt loop's going to sit like that. So I beveled on the outside here, but not on the inside. Same thing with this piece. I beveled it on, let's see, on this side. Yeah, but not on this side. Actually, I forgot to bevel this side. But that'll just give me a nicer looking edge once this whole thing's put together. This piece, I've got the hole punch where I'm going to put the snap, got all the stitch holes in it, and these two other pieces here are ready to go. So right now all I'm going to do is give it a coat of neat's foot oil, let that sit overnight, and then I'm going to go ahead and tan coat it. And that'll be the finishing steps. I am probably going to redo the neat's foot, and I'm going to tan coat over the stitch lines once it's all put together. That helps to protect the stitch lines. All I'm going to do is take my soft paper towel, fold it over, put a little bit of neat's foot on it, and just rub it onto the leather. Wipe off the excess. Now I usually neat's foot the stuff that I make, whether or not I'm using it as part of the finish. Or I should say as just part of the finish. Things like this holster here. When I molded this holster, I molded it in hot water, and that removes a lot of the natural oils. So by putting neat's foot on it, by treating it with the neat's foot, that returns the oil, so it nourishes the leather, and that'll keep it, from drying out, because neat's foot never dries. It absorbs into the leather, and it never turns rancid. It nourishes the leather. And once you do that, and you put the tan coat over top of it, it comes out looking pretty good. Well, like I said, I'm going to neat's foot everything, and it'll just absorb into the leather, and then I'll come back in, I don't know, a day or two, and tan coat it. This doesn't make the leather oily or greasy. But it does darken it a little bit. So, that's it. And I'll leave that sit for a little while. Alright, I gave that overnight for the neat's foot oil to soak in. And we're ready for the next step. Now, some people might be thinking, why is he putting a finish on it when it's still in bits? Well, because some of these bits are going to cover some of the other bits. I've gone ahead and I've burnished the edges, and I'll probably be redoing those when it's all done anyway. But like the belt loop is going to go on here, and I won't be able to get underneath that once it's all put together. This piece is going to go on here. And again, I won't be able to get underneath that. And I want to get a finish on this piece before I set the snap on it and stitch it in place. I'm going to go back over the stitches and coat them again with tan coat to help protect the thread and to help protect the stitches. And like I said, I got all the edges burnished, and they've been gum tragged as well. We got a tan coat here. That's stuff I use for my finishes. It'll still be moldable when it's done, even after it's tan coated. So it's no biggie. I just think I'll get a better finish overall when it's all said and done. The way I do it is I wipe it on with the dauber, wipe off the excess with the paper towel. Pretty much the same way that I did the neat's foot oil. So just put some on with the dauber. And then, actually I didn't need to do this part because that's going to get glued on it. Wipe off the excess with my paper towel. Set that one aside. That one's done for now. And I'm just going to go through and do all the bits like that. I'm also going to do the back side, but I have to wait for the front side to dry before I flip it over and do the back side. Otherwise, it'll affect the finish and the way the finish looks. Now, that edge has been burnished. That'll keep it pretty looking. Actually, I'm going to do that to this one too. Now I'm going to set these on a piece of glass. A glass plate, I'll show you that in a minute. And leave it there to dry to make sure that it doesn't stick to this. And I'm going to do the same thing with these two, and we'll be back. Okay, they're all coated. They just need to sit and dry for a while. And I hope you can see this. This is the piece of glass I was talking about. We actually saved this from a recycler. We were recycling glass, saw this sitting in with the clear glass. My wife pointed it out to me, and I said, hey, you know, I can use that. So I'll let that sit overnight, maybe a couple of days, and then we'll go ahead and flip them over. Well, I'm not going to do the backside on this one because it doesn't need to be done. But I will do the backside on this piece and on this piece. And of course, on this one too. But basically, it's the same thing. I just spread the tan coat on it. The backside is very absorbent, so I probably won't have to wipe off any excess, but if I do, I'll go ahead and do that. Now, after they've been sitting for a little while, they dry enough that you can, well, at least I do, I give them a little bit of a buff, and that brings out a little bit of a shine to it. Not a lot, but just so it looks nice. And like I said, I'll let that sit. When we come back, well, we'll see what I've got next when we come back.